Morning guys, I'm Justin Jones with Surepoint Ag. I cover all the C&B stores and then Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. How many of you are familiar with QuickDraw or have seen QuickDraw before? A few of you? Okay. So I'm going to explain, this is just a demo trailer a little bit so you kind of know what's going on. In the back here kind of represents our bulk chemicals, so these three inductors here. I've got our inductor cone here for doing all our hand adds, any of our dry flowables. And then this is going to be our carrier tank, and then we're coming through the pump, pumping in a circle, going back around to the other side of the carrier tank. So on the side here, we can have a 4, a 6, or a 9 product QuickDraw. And then we've got different options for some large valves depending on what you're trying to do for products. Got our inlet down here on the bottom, and then inductor supply, inductor suction, and then our product hose rinse up here on top. Moving on into the cabinet, this big silver thing in here, that's our mass flow meter. So we're measuring product density or weight. That's what we use to measure all of our bulk chemicals with. Plus or minus 0.5% is what the accuracy is. It doesn't matter what temperature changes are throughout the day, different viscosities of products, it's always going to be accurate. In the back there, the big green light, that's our carrier flow meter. It's a mag meter, and that's 3-inch. So I'll explain a little bit. We go in, we create our recipe, we put in our products, the use rates of those products, and we've got a couple different calculation modes. On this one, we're doing volume and application rate. So we put that information in, and then it automatically figures out how much to pull from every tote, including how much carrier you need as well. We can have up to 5 manually added products as a part of the recipe, and you want to put that in because what that's going to do is if you ever change this batch size, it's going to recalculate that as well. And typically those are the first ones to go into the batch. And you'll see it here when it's running. It's going to give you a visual representation of how many packages or jugs that need to go in. And also if it's like a partial jug, it'll tell you how many ounces out of that jug that needs to go in as well. There's a record of every batch that goes through here, and we can have up to 250 recipes stored on here. We also have an iPad app that directly mirrors everything you see on the screen, functions exactly the same as the display, and you can use the iPad app to control the cabinet as well. So you can start and stop the batch through the iPad app. And then all of our record keeping, that sort of thing, that's all exchanged to the iPad app, and we can export that information in either a PDF or a CSV program. Okay, we do also we can have the capability of doing up to 4 different carriers as well, so we can do carrier blending. So if you're doing a fertilizer and a water mixture together, you can do that. The other thing we can do is we also have a product hose rinse. So we go in and we put in the length of hose and the diameter of that hose. And so let's say you're done with a particular product at the end of the day. You can go in and put this information in. It's going to stop short on that particular product as it's going through the carrier cycle, complete the chemical cycle, and then it's going to go back to that particular product and say, are you ready to rinse? You go ahead and hit OK. It's going to basically activate that product here. That way you have suction on that hose, and then you can unhook from your bulk tote and then hook up here. And then you run metered water through that hose to clean that hose out. Another thing that we just came out with this year is we have a Quick Load 1 and a Quick Load 2. So we can have easy access to 2 different recipes back and forth from the run screen. And then we can change the size of those batches as well from that run screen. We don't have to go into a different screen to do that. So let's say like the See and Spray sprayer, where you have 2 different tanks, you'll have 2 different recipes for each tank. You'll be able to switch back and forth between those 2. If you have just a single tank, you can have 2 different size recipes, that you can switch back and forth with there as well. So, that being said, any questions? I'm kind of hammering through this real fast. Normally my presentations are about 25 minutes. All right, who wants to be the guinea pig? All you gotta do is push a button. So just grab it and then hit start. You guys can gather around and watch on there. It shares information back and forth, or you can come up here and watch it as well, and then I'll try to talk over the top of it a little bit. So it's gonna start with the preload. So it's gonna put in, I think, 50 gallons as that preload. And then after that, it's gonna go into the chemical cycle, and then you'll see it. It's gonna come up on the screen and tell you how much of those manually added products to put in. And so you would check those off and then hit required amount added. So here we have a visual representation. We can check that off. And then it moves on to our next product. And then same thing. Notice as it does a rinse in between every product that goes through. So our rinse valve up here is running in between every product, so we're cleaning everything out every time. There's our second bulk product. Does another rinse. And then our last one. Final 10-second rinse to clean everything out through the cabinet. And it closes our Venturi, our 2-inch valve in the back, and opens up our 3-inch to complete the batch. And then it's done. We also have an air purge option as well. So then at the end of the batch, you hook up to your trailer air and it'll blow that 3-inch hose out to your sprayer. When it's done, the little red light up on top goes off.
You can notice here on your front side, there are your cameras right.
That way you know you can unhook, put your hose away, jump back in the sprayer and go.